Hi guys, it'll mirror me to everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. I gotta make sure little bear's right there because it's where the camera's set for. Today we're going to. It's the 16th of December. 16th of January 2019, and we have a couple things to cover in this bcast. Some people have asked me about the government shutdown, and some people have also asked me to confirm what's going on with the food stamps. So that's what we're going to start with. Several of the freshman congressmen of the Democratic Party and a few senators as well have actually said, look, let's resolve this thing. Let's open the government up. Let's give Donald Trump his money for the wall. Let's put it in the budget. Let's get this thing dealt with. It's just completely unexpected because that means going against the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer. But you have to understand one thing, and this is the reason I'm here, and that is that this is causing real hardship for federal employees and federal contractors, both of whom are not going to be paid. Another program that is in serious trouble is Section 8. Now, I'm not in Section 8 anymore because my landlord, stupidly enough, got into an argument with the Section 8 inspector and he got himself thrown off the program. So, I've been paying full rent out of my Social Security check since 2015. But what I'm talking about here is they say that they think right now that 500 for January, 500 contracts have expired according to one channel. Let me give you the channel site sources here so I don't have to look like an idiot. Let me get to this. This is actually surprising because this channel he's very much right on the money. He's an Afro-American channel commentator. All right. And he's 100% right in everything. And I want to give him kudos and give him proper credit for what he's doing because he brought up some valid points. Okay, so let me go to this. My history channel because I was just watching this. The name of the channel is called... there's a couple of them. Next News Network is one. You've seen me mention that. Let's see. Oh yeah, we can talk about the Advise Media Network. And the other one about the food stamps is on the Advise Show TV. So the Advise Media Network and the Advise Show TV. Now, the problem what we're going to talk about is landlords who are participating in the Section 8 program are not going to sit on their hands while tenants freeload in their building, waiting for some government entitlement agency to get off the stick and issue them back rent. That's not going to happen. So 1.2 million Americans, that's actually, as the Advise Network said, most are white, which is interesting. I did not even think of that. I guess because we kept hearing the spin, it was mostly black. No, it turns out to be that most of them are actually white. Or possibly a mixed heritage. Now, the problem is, as I said, these 1.2 million people are in the danger of losing their home or apartments because the Section 8 program, if you may not know, is closed. It's not open right now. They're not processing any new applications. They're not doing any inspections. They're not doing any of this right now because of the partial government shutdown. So, Just like with the United States Department of Agriculture, there's questions of what we're going to do about those people. But clearly, if the agency is not processing paperwork for the applications that have expired, clearly that means that, well, they have to do something soon. I just think I have to do something soon about the humidifier, which we may not get to that in a second. So, the situation with that, and the fact that the government employees and government contractors are not being paid, and the fact that several, Democrats under the tutorage of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer of the Senate have said, look, let's work this out because this is getting painful. This is hurting Americans. This is going to hurt us. I mean, look, it's just give them this $5.7 billion. We can certainly do it. We've already spent more than that in a lot of other projects. There's no reason why the president can't have his $5.7 billion. Give it to him. For the love of Pete, save America. I agree. It's time to just work this out. Donald Trump says what he wants. He says what he wants to do. He is tenacious because he is going to hold his ground firmly to his ground, and apparently so is Nancy Pelosi. This is just like the North going and the South going Zacks in Dr. Seuss's book. Neither will budge. Neither will agree to go left or right, east or west, because they only can go north and south. So they're fighting, they're standing here, and just like it says in Dr. Seuss's book, the two will stay there indefinitely because they don't want to work to go east or west so the other one can go. They're just like, no, I'm not moving. You're fucking staying right here. And that's exactly what's happening. Okay? The situation is absolutely unacceptable to both Democrats and Republicans alike, because the other one is saying that the other one's at fault. I don't know who to put blame on. I'm a moderate, remember. I try to look at things from both sides. I see what Donald Trump wants. I know why he wants it. I see what the Democrats are saying when they say, we don't need all. It's funny because back when Barack Obama was president, they were actually talking about doing the same thing with a wall. What's the difference? Because Donald Trump is president, you don't want a wall after you guys originally said you wanted a wall? That doesn't make any sense. Okay? Clearly, this is going to be bad for everybody. So what the Advice Network was talking about, the Advice Show TV was talking about, it says, one thing is the whites have no idea how to cope about the housing situation. Because the whites have always had it good. Correct. 100% that is absolutely true. I do not deny that. We do not know how. I'm not lying. If you're talking about Tom, if I was still in Section 8 and I found out that my landlord knocks on my door and says, Michelle, I need $700 rent because Section 8 didn't pay me this month, I would have been like, what? I don't have $700 rent. Of course, I would have been rightfully concerned because I didn't. Because the money would have been going towards the satellite dish and everything else. That's why we don't have a satellite dish right now. Because we're not using the money for that. Money is going straight to the rent. $700 off the top every month. I pay that in cash from my Social Security check. Now, you might be asking, well, what about Social Security? Well, I contacted, Krista contacted them, and they told me, she told me that they told her that Social Security disability, not SSI, which is a different program, Social Security disability and Social Security retirement, Social Security Administration has enough money to guarantee benefits up until October of 2019. Please remember Donald Trump said this shutdown could last months or years. Okay, now if it lasts years, then obviously there's going to be a lot of congressmen and senators out of a job very fast. And there may be Republicans and Democrats or both, okay? Of course, Donald Trump will certainly, more than likely, will not be reelected President of the United States. Despite what Mark Taylor says, I'm telling you right now, if something isn't done, it's going to be a lot of tears and gnashing of teeth, okay? That's a fact. So, what are we going to do as a country? Well, like the guy said on Vice TV, he said, the black people, he says, we have always had to deal with this stuff back in the 50s and 40s and 50s. We have dealt with it before. We know how to help out each other. We know how to keep it together. But he said the white guys have no clue. And as I said earlier, that is 100% true. We don't. We've never been there. We haven't. Because, remember, that was the time of Jim Crow laws, and that is when they had no choice. They didn't have the programs they have now, but they stuck together. Okay? Unfortunately, the white people, which I'm a white person, okay, we never stuck together. We've always splintered off. We've always kind of went, I have my entitlement, so who gives a fuck? Of course I give a fuck, but the truth is like he said, is Donald Trump is of the upper elite. He doesn't care about the poor white people. Because he's well-to-do. He's already made his money. He's already a multi-billionaire. He doesn't care. That's what he said. I'm just quoting the guy. Is he wrong? No. However, he also said, all the old geezers in Washington, all the old farts, now I'm paraphrasing him, that have been in Washington 30, 40, 50 years really should get out and get new blood in there because they are not aware. They're oblivious to everything because they have never had to worry about their well-being for decades. Okay? That's true. So what are we supposed to do? I'm serious when I ask this guy that question. As a white person, can you tell me how we are supposed to adapt to a situation where we may not have food stamps and merch? And for my friends on Section 8 housing, if they find that their check is gone, and the landlord is knocking at the door, and there's an inadequate amount of money in the till, how are they going to pay the rent? I don't know. We talked about the shutdown thing years ago, and you know what, in 2011, it's this time, this is getting worse, and I mentioned that already in a few other things. Now, that's something to be aware of. The next topic we're going to talk about is the humidifier, because obviously the air in here is getting really dry, and it's starting to get me and my cat sick. And we have to get another one bad, because otherwise I am going to basically be absolutely having a hard time breathing and talking because my throat's getting dry as a desert. What are we going to do? Well, I can't help that my 1980s humidifier finally called it quits. It might have been 1970s. I don't know. I got it for free. And the thing was, it worked fine for a long time, but something in the motor gave out, and the windings, maybe the enamel gave up on the motor, and guess what? It shorted out, and it's kaput. I still have the humidifier outside. I don't know what to do with it. I need it's a Emerson HD092, not the HD922, it's the HD092 motor. The belt's fine. The motor's not seized. The windings have gone bad. Okay? I can't do anything with it. Oh, I know. Someone would say, well, couldn't you put another motor in its place? Well, I could if the motor was actually a standard, like, fan motor, like you find in a window fan. But the problem is the way Emerson put that thing together, has a shaft that comes off the back of the motor that actually drives the the second part, which is runs the nylon build up the moisture from the water bath. So it's not just the fan. The fan is the heart of the whole thing, and the thing has had a heart attack, and unfortunately, the patient is dead, Jim. There's nothing I can do with it at this point. So it's sitting out on the porch, ready to be dropped off at the landfill because I can't find any replacement parts to fix it. And even if I could, I got a feeling the price of the motor is going to probably cost more money than it would be to buy a new humidifier. And the funny is you mention that because I've looked at what exists for new humidifiers in the market today. And, well, most of them are not really that impressive. You have things like cold mist humidifiers. You have ultrasonic humidifiers, which are the most popular ones. The problem with the ultrasonic humidifiers, I had one in Willimantic. They throw water in the air using ultrasonics as a very fine mist. But at the same time, the problem with them is they also throw out chlorine. Because the water, anything that's in the water, maybe rust, chlorine, whatever, is going to throw it in the air as well. And that means that you're going to potentially be inhaling unwanted products. Because these things do not use a filter. They basically expect you to recommend that you use filtered water or ideally distilled water. Well, that's going to add up to the cost. So even if you buy a $50 one of these things that's big enough to run this home, which is, they are available for about $50 to $75, you're basically going to have to buy potentially gallons of water from the store. Maybe you can get away with Poland Spring. Maybe you can get away with distilled water from some local drugstore. But the problem is that's going to cost more money than if I could fill it up with my kitchen tap. However, Honeywell has a humidifier that I actually think would be very promising. It is an evaporative type, which is similar to what I had, but technically mine was closer to an air washer. Now, the belt one is more like an air washer, but okay, that's not available right now, price I can afford, so let's just leave that alone. So what they have suggested is this Honeywell has two things that make it advantageous. One, it's big enough to handle my apartment with ease. Two, it has an antibacterial UVC light source. The UVC light source will kill mold and mildew in the water, which means you don't need to push so much and give your humidifier water too much of a treatment because the UVC light source will kill the pathogens and the nasty stuff. And because it is an evaporative humidifier, you're not going to have to worry about it throwing chlorine and rust and other unwanted impurities in the air, because those will not go through the wick very easily and will remain in the water, which of course means that it stays, all the nasty heavy metals and stuff stays out of your water, including fluorine and chlorine and everything else. So that's a great thing. And I found one that wasn't too expensive, just like $70. And I found extra light bulbs for the UVC bulbs after somebody complained at Walmart, gee, Walmart, why doesn't Honeywell tell me where I can buy my bulbs? Well, I found out where you can buy the bulbs. They sell them on eBay, incidentally, and they're not that expensive, relatively speaking. It lasts about 8,000 hours. So if you're really concerned about that, just buy a couple extra ones on eBay. Now, that's one thing I got to get this month. I got to get a humidifier because otherwise I am going to be in serious trouble really quick because my cats are getting sick and I'm getting sick. And from the dry air in here, and there's not much I can do at this point. So that's what I'm going to be working on. the next topic is my iPhone 4S and versus this phone. I put a brand new battery in this phone. Of course, it's just got a removable battery. It's very easy. Never had a problem with that. It was just easy. Basically, popped off the case, basically popped the cover, popped the old battery out, which was still moderately good. Put the brand new battery in, close the door, turn it back on, and boom, ready to go. But it's the Android, and the problem is that I have gotten so used to iOS, and Android is a real learning curve for me to begin to master Android. Okay, I know this may sound like, gee, that's a real sorry for you. Well, it's just... So, I went ahead, and I was curious, how hard is it to change a battery on a 4S? And I watched a video on YouTube. But there actually, like one, I think it was Out on the Water, or was it Forever Consciousness, said it's actually very simple. He was right. It is simple. And I can do it myself. It is inexpensive. I can get one with a battery, which includes the tools to change out the battery and get ready to go. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Hopefully I don't break the phone in the process, but if I do, well, won't be totally phoneless, but I'll be a little bit upset, but I don't think I'd be phoneless. Now, and then I said to myself, gee, I got this iPhone 3GS, it's sitting in the drawer, it's broken because the stupid SIM slot broke. What if I could find, because it physically is in good shape, it's just, older phone. It only has 8 gigabytes. Wait a minute. I said, what if I could find my dream iPhone 3GS to replace the one that's broken? Let's say I could find one for, about $20. It's in halfway decent shape. It's factory unlocked, so I can use it on any provider. Battery's probably shot. So you figure you can get, just like the iPhone 4s, you can buy a battery for the 3GS, you put that into the 3GS, and you can make that old phone great again. Now I know the iPhone 3GS is an old out-of-style phone. It's only 3G. It's not really that cutting edge, but it's fine if you want a burner phone or a backup phone, and maybe you can kick around the shop and be able to do things with. So I'm going to say it's a pretty good deal. Next topic, and this is probably the one most thing, is to let you guys know the schedule. Because, as you probably noticed tonight, we did not have a live stream. And the reason is I'm canceling the Wednesday night live streams. Because the Wednesday night 7 p.m. live streams really don't do as well as they could. They could have done better. But even at my peak of my channel's popularity, it just wasn't doing it. It just wasn't doing as well as 7 o'clock. We were doing better at Friday and Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon Eastern time, because the people in Europe could still go to work and the next day and be bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and get ready to go to work. That's important. Because in the UK, 2 p.m. our time is 7 p.m. there, so they can still be part of the show and still get a good night's sleep for the work the next day on their... So, that's why I said, well, might as well keep it at 2 o'clock, because that works out fine. 7 o'clock show, as a couple people in the UK have said, we can't make it in the middle of the week on a Wednesday night at 7 p.m., which is midnight our time, because we have to go to work the next day. Because that'd be Thursday morning and midnight, and they've got to go to work, so they're not going to be able to be part of the show, which is true. So, that's why I said, forget 7 o'clock on Wednesday. It makes no sense, because if I can't have the people who want to be part of the show be part of the show, I'm going to be sitting around bored on my skull doing nothing, and nobody's doing like that. Okay? So, like I said, we're going to have our show. It's kind of neat the way it works out, because here's how it works. Okay? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 2 p.m. Okay? Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I have off. I can do research. I can rest, relax, recoup, and be ready to go. Now, you might be asking yourself, are we going to be taking phone calls soon? The answer is probably, I would say, maybe by next week, we'll consider taking phone calls. But I'm not absolutely sure yet. Because of the channel's changing its direction, it may not work out well. I can't say yet. Oh, we'll see. Let's see. Yes. For ideas for the shows, this is where you come in. If you have any ideas for the Friday night show, you can post them in the comment section below this video, in the comment sections below the vlogs. That I ideally would like to do it in this video, and maybe in each video or live stream video comment section afterwards, so that I can actually see how many people like a particular comment. So if you want me to talk about what's going on with Mars, we can talk about Mars. If you want me to talk about what's going on in more detail with the shutdown, we can talk about the shutdown, that's fine. If you want me to talk about Brexit, which is a mess, putting it nicely, the UK is a mess. It is ridiculous. But right now, I think we can talk about that too. These are the things that we can discuss. So for now, it's already 10:23 p.m. my time, which means that once I put all the leaders and trailers on this video, it's going to be like midnight or so, and that'll have to go out the next day onto YouTube. So by the time it goes out, it'll be about January 17th, 2019, which means that the food stamps, according to the state of Connecticut, will be out for those who are normally getting them on the 1st. So check your food stamps if you get food stamps tomorrow, which will be today by the time you see this. If you're in when you normally get your checks on the 1st, if you check, because the food stamps may actually be there in your account on your EBT card, so you can be ready to go shopping. I'm getting my full amount, the full $113. And I still had $40 left. I did buy some things tonight to eat because I figured, why not? I might as well eat something instead of going to bed hungry. I do that sometimes a lot because I'm trying to work on my weight. But some people can't do that, so you have to understand that. Now, what about the Asperger's? I have a comment here from Ruben, and I'm going to point it out because I'm not mad at Ruben or nothing. He said something along the lines of, it's in my latest vlog from this morning. He said, let's get to it. He said, you should have learned how to manage your shit by now. I'm going to give you a line from Moana. I'm self-taught. How the heck am I supposed to learn how to manage my shit by now when I'm self-taught? No one even taught me anything. I did not have any special training. I was just told by my therapist a couple of years ago, back in Torrington, that I have Asperger's. I was all I told. Okay, no. Basically, she realized I was fairly high functional, so she basically figured, okay. Unfortunately, there was a shake-up at the agency, and they changed workers, and of course I moved to another town. So unfortunately, there was nothing I could do about it. So to say that Ruben is a little bit unfair, and the fact is that people with Asperger's may not know how to take care of their shit right now, like you said. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to keep trying, because we will, and we do know that we can do better. And we are going to do better. Speaking of better, let's take up one more thing, and that's it, and then we'll wrap it up here. Even though it's really not a major deal. I'm going to bring it real quick. Some of you might be saying is, can you ever increase your video better than 360p? The answer is, yeah. But there's a valid question. Is it really going to change anything? I've ever seen this. Of course it will. The screen will be easier to see. You'll be able to see you clearly. And, yeah, but most of my show, really, just looking at my face, it's not making any sense. You're going to look at my face and say 720p, which really is not going to be 720p because the camera itself only does 640 by 480. So, sure, now I got this white screen, you can see my letters and numbers better on the screen. That's great, but the truth is, the camera is still 640 by 480 on the computer, so you're not going to gain nothing. Really not. Maybe it might be better for some things, but it's really not going to make a damn difference. The next thing, of course, is why are we limited to 360p? Well, we're limited to 360p mainly because my internet provider is only DSL. And my DSL provider only gives me 1 megabit per second up. That's all. I don't get any more than that up. I got about 60 megabits per second down to the computer, but only 1 megabit per second up. So because of that, and the fact is that we were doing all the Discord streams, and sometimes we stream videos from YouTube, I like to have a set up buffer or some extra room, some breathing room, so I can actually make sure I can do other things besides just stream the video. So if I want to look up something on the internet, I can do that and still get the video up. Like I said, the live streams don't have to really be ultra high quality. The 360p is fine for now. Not that I like it, but you realize that on most cell phones, most people are really not going to notice much difference on most cell phones. So that's the way we do what we do. But for now, I want to thank you all for watching this stream. Please do me a favor and do not forget to share this video and every other video with your friends. Do check out the playlist. I have been adding new stuff to the Asperger's playlist. And, of course, new videos for the 2019 playlist. So please do check out the playlists if you have not already done so. And share these videos with your friends and families. And please do, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel and like the videos. And that's it. I will see you guys on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. UK time, and 11 a.m. Pacific Time. So until that time, stay warm, stay dry, and stay safe. Oh yes, I know about the snow coming up. We will obviously talk about that on Friday. So, just be aware. Okay? Bye-bye.